I always hate trying to figure out where this should go. Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for watching. Man, this video has been a long time in the making. I've definitely gotten so many requests over the months. It's been a couple of months of like, how do I do a ripple wall? Ripple wall. How do I make a ripple wall? Man, you need a CNC machine. That's just the only way. There's no way around it. Except, after a long time of really thinking this through, I actually figured out a kind of simple jig to actually make it. Let me show you that real quick. Just a simple, inexpensive router and a little jig I made, which at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you how to make it. I'm gonna make some plans for this. I'm gonna have all the dimensions on there, and I'm gonna actually have them on my new website that I'm working on right now. I've had so many requests for people asking like, hey, I wanted to buy this from you, I wanted to buy that from you. Can you make? I wasn't at a position to be able to do that and be able to provide some of that stuff for you. So definitely super excited about that. So I'm gonna make the plans and have all the dimensions available, and I'm gonna make that available on makeitdecorshop.com. So before we start, I did want to mention, so a lot of my plans, I make them for absolute beginners. You've never used tools before. I go over them, I make them very simple. I break everything down to a very basic concept of being able to make these things. The trouble is, this is not a jigsaw. So this definitely is a router. It takes some practice using. It's not a difficult tool to use. One notch above the, I would say, between a circular saw and a jigsaw, because those are more simple to understand the concept. They cut faster, they're there. This one is more, think of like a blender. And so you're not meant to cut like you would a jigsaw or circular saw. You're not cutting a lot of material off. You'll actually break this and you're holding on by hand and it can fly off pretty easily. But if you understand the concept, it's mainly meant to cut off, like the most that I try to cut is a 1/4 inch at a time. But even with this, that's usually with a bigger plunge router. With this, I take very little off and just go around. But the perfect thing about this is to make this, you don't have to take a lot off. It's very little. It's one pass. You'll kind of see the effect that it gives, and you can use multiple different bits. But I did want to say this is kind of one notch up. So before you do this, if you've never had any experience with a router, watch a couple of router videos, get a router and practice with it, getting a couple of cuts and kind of getting used to understanding the concept of going a certain way and a lot of stuff like that I'm going to cover a little later in the video. But understand the concept before you use this tool, because it can be dangerous if you don't understand what this tool is meant to do. Remember, they're not really meant to cut wood. They're meant to like skim off pieces of wood, kind of in a sense. All right, let's get into the video and I'll show you how I make that jig at the end. But just want to let you know, you change out the bit, you'll get a different look. I spoiled myself a little bit and I got a track saw instead of just using a piece of wood most of the time. Now the reason I had to make this is it's very difficult to find circle cutting jigs that cut super small circles, and then I also needed to run the length, so I had to kind of create this. So right now we're doing a half circle. So I know that's the center. We're gonna pre-drill. We're not going all the way through. It's just so I have a starting point. I'm gonna drill through here. So we're sticking out. And I'm gonna find that. And once I find the hole, it's already in the hole right there. I'm gonna reverse drill, and then I'll drill it back in. Make sure I leave enough slack so we can still slide around. But that's all we're gonna do. That's all there is to it. I'm gonna get my router that's perfectly measured to fit right in here. I think later on, I'm gonna add some screws or some holes where I'll be able to screw through here, so the base plate will actually stay in there a little bit better. But let's give it a go. So normally you need a plunge router, which you can kind of manually plunge here. It's just usually with the plunge router it's a lot easier because you kind of hold it, you can push down. This one you have to manually adjust here. But what I can do is, since we're not cutting through, we're not cutting deep, so a 1/4 inch at the most. But we're taking less than that. The way I designed this to fit perfectly is so I can actually have it running, and then I can slowly guide this into there so it's not just turned on. Don't ever turn it on. If the bit's stuck in there or on top, don't turn it on because it'll rattle. You wanna have it off, you turn it on, and once it's on, you're gonna slowly start plunging down, and you'll feel it start taking away some of the wood. And before you do anything, you want to make sure you're gonna mark on the sides so we know not to go over. We want a straight 90 cut. So what I'm gonna do is measure from the top to here, top to here. Perfect. I'm drawing this line. All right, I can draw across if I need to, but the main point is so I know where I'm turning to when I turn it, not to turn. We're only doing a half circle, like a moon. We're not going in a full circle. I'll show you in a minute. And as soon as I lined up with this line, I stopped because I know that's the perfect half circle. Let's take it out. All right, exactly what I was going for. All we're gonna do is take out this screw, and then for each circle, all we're literally doing is just going down the line. There's a couple of holes here lined up all the way for like, I think up to like a full 4-footer, but we're just doing that. Let me take a closer look. All right, now we just got a couple of more of those going around, going around, going around, going around, and we'll see you in a minute. Drill through again, and then we're just finding the hole and repeating the process. So what you're gonna do is just line up with your the middle cut. I found the groove. That's all I'm doing, is just finding the groove. Once it kind of sits in there, then I know we matched up where we should be. Same thing. Follow the line I made around here. Line it up, make sure we're 90 degrees, and then tighten this. Just set it back in place in the next line. Alright, so now we're on day 2. So yesterday I finished the backdrop, but I also learned or relearned a lesson with routers. So they're only meant to go a certain way. If not, they'll kind of resist and want to cut away, and it can be easily kind of to jump off the line that we're trying to create. And so I did the right side perfect, slid down, boom, 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 knocked it out clean. So we did the curve, right side. I come to the left side, I had to switch sides, so I was cutting the opposite way. Going down, it was kind of fighting me a little bit, and so you definitely always want to go slow. Still going slow, but we went off track like twice, like big time, and I'm like, let me see if I can fix it. And then so I was like, let me just continue, and it was fighting me the whole way, doing all the lines coming on the left side, going the opposite way. And then towards the end I realized, routers are meant to go and cut that way, not the other way. So the last 3 or 4 lines I switched it around, and I was coming up this way, so it was cutting this way. no problem, worked great. So what it is the round ones are fine. Going the right side is fine. Coming the left side, you're gonna have to come up, which I found a way we can do that. Just wanted to let you know, I definitely want to have this as clean as I can. I still made it and I'm gonna show you, but I'm gonna flip it around or we're gonna do it all over again. You can see super clean on this side, super clean. Over here, right here, I went off. Right here again and again. And you can just see, messing up, we get to see 2 tries. It's 149. I have everything set up. Let's just see how long it's gonna take. This is exactly where I was yesterday when I tried to go that way, and it kind of fought me a little bit. So I have the bit sitting inside the lip of this, exactly where it needs to be, and I set up the gauge exactly the way I did over there, but I'm gonna start from the opposite end and come this way. I should line up exactly like this if I did it right. A little nervous to look at it. This is the side where I went straight down. You can't see it. Over here, a little bit of struggle. That's where I started on the other side, but that's so close. A little bit of sanding, you're not gonna even notice that. That's the side where I started on that side and came up. Let me check what time it is. 4:20. I have completely forgot when I started this. I'll probably put it in there, but it feels maybe about 2 hours or something, maybe a little over. Not too bad. You definitely want to take your time, but yeah. I hate floral. It's very difficult to me. I just kind of threw some stuff together, some colors I thought might go. Probably about 50% of what I want it to be. I'm thinking these right here need to come out more flowy, like, I don't know, like that. Versus just they look like I just stuffed them in there because I just stuffed them in there. Alright, so I don't know where to start, so we're just gonna start there. We'll kind of get these going a little bit better. I don't know what's going on up there. I wish I had one more of these for right here, something similar right here. But I think I got something, we'll see. It looks ugly. And I just broke some. I know you're probably there at home thinking like, all you gotta do is just move that a little bit. I wish I could hear you. So we're gonna call that done. Not good, done. I hate floral. Well, not that I hate floral, I love the way it looks. I just don't know how to make it look like it should. The only way to learn is to do, and I'm just doing this for us, so let's figure it out. These things always look good. Expensive, but they're good. I was like, let's be bold, let's add something like this. I like this color, it's like a mustard yellow, but I don't think it's gonna go. Does it match? Nope, but I like it. But if it's out of the way, you know? Just like a little splash. Well, if I have one splash, I need another splash. That's too crazy. Got some more of these. What do y'all think? Y'all probably screaming at me. No! I think we're getting there. I don't know, I keep looking at that spot. Right? I think that's probably the best you're gonna get from me. Definitely have a lot to learn about floral. If y'all can, give me some tips at the bottom and we'll learn together. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.